Welcome. This video is presented by Consulting DG. In the next video, we will see the environment in which projects operate Part 2, especially organizational structure type. One of the key influences in the project environment related in the way how the organization is organized is the organization structure. This allows project manager to identify where to look for resources, the way the communication is managed, who support to who in the organization, etc. Each organization considers a number of factors for inclusion in the organizational structure, and each factor carries different levels of importance. To mention a few: span of control, degree of alignment with the organization objective, delegation capability, simplicity of design, efficiency performance. And here are the most common type of organizational structure in companies: organic or simple, functional, multi-divisional, matrix, strong, weak, balance, project orientated, virtual, hybrid, and PMO, Project Management Office. Organic or simple. This type of organizational structure is commonly found in small and medium-sized companies or family business. They are composed by a unit department without division, and all members work side by side for a quick communication and solving problems. This organizational structure is very flexible and able to adapt well to market change. Also have few rules, regulation, and decision making is decentralized. Here, the project manager has very little or no authority and may or may not have a designated role. Functional. This is the most traditional organizational structure in companies. In this highly centralized hierarchical structure, each member has an open manager or coordinator, and people are grouped based on their functional skill or specialties. For instance, engineering, marketing, production, manufacturing, etc. So accountability is evident as the role and responsibility are clearly defined. However, each department are more concerned with their own goals. Therefore, there are probably less interest to organizational overall objectives, and no person is responsible for an entire project. Here, the project manager has a minimum role to play or may not have a designated position. Generally, it can be represented as a expeditor or work as a coordinator. In contrast, the role of a functional manager goes beyond and may involve budget allocation, resource allocation, decision making. This type of organization is suitable for manufacturing or engineering companies. Multi-divisional. This type of organization is suitable for companies that operate in different geographical locations, have chain store with subsidiary, banking and insurance business, etc. They work independently on divisional goals, and their design focus on service line like a product, customer, regions, markets, etc. This type of organization often resembles functional organization, where employees are assigned to segment or specialty based on product, market, or service. The communication among divisions tend to be complicated due to cultural difference and internal competition. Here, the project manager may or may not exceed and may be hired on temporary assignments. Matrix. This one is a combination of a functional and a project type structure. Here you have two command structure, vertical and horizontal one, and may exceed a functional and project manager sharing the respective authorities. For instance, an employee may belong to a functional group but can also work on a project. This structure uses the best of both worlds. In a matrix organization, structure can be three types. Strong metrics. They are close to a prioritized organization, and here the project manager have the highest authority, control over the budget, and a full-time team reporting to them. And balanced metric. This is a mix of functional and prioritized structure, where project manager have the low to a moderate authority and a part-time team. Decision making and budget management are shared by both functional and project manager. With metrics, this is closer to a functional structure, and here the project manager have low authority and no control over the budget, and may have a part-time team. Project-oriented structure. Pre-organization structure is a temporary setup for a specific project. It's also called prioritized structure. The project manager assigned for the project is the head of this structure. He is the real boss here with the freedom to apply his expertise. However, once a project is delivered, the project manager becomes redundant. Job security here is critical in this type of organization. The virtual organization. The virtual organization is a structure that links people and organization to information technology, which demands self-discipline to organize the work of the stakeholder. Generally speaking, with this organization structure, labor costs are reduced and make easier for open manager to access the different people skills. One of the disadvantages of this structure is the isolation among online workers, which could affect motivation. Here, the project manager has a low to a moderate authority. However, they have a mix of control over the budget. They may or may not have a full team reporting them. Hybrid. A hybrid organizational structure would include a combination of some of the previously mentioned organizations, such as functional, multi-divisional, metrics, projectized, and virtual. The bottom line is to adapt two or more models for a special project, for simplicity or to keep power in check. Most modern businesses own a hybrid structure type. Project Management Office. The PMO is an organizational entity that standardizes the project-related governance process and facilitates the sharing of resource, methodology, tools, and techniques. The responsibility of PMO can range from providing project management support function to manage one or more projects. Among the main roles are support, consulting, training, lesson learned. Here, the PMO has a low control over the project. Control, governance, implementing methodologies, manage interdependence between projects, collaborate in allocation of shared resources. Here, the PMO has a medium control over the project. A manager, assign project manager to execute projects from the beginning and be responsible for the success or failure of the project. Here, the PMO has a high control over the project. Thank you.